Guys, so today we are going to be building an iOS app from scratch. Now, iOS apps, you do not need any building experience, you do not need any coding knowledge, you just need a little bit of your brain and an idea. You need to bring that to life. iOS apps are the new dropshipping. So you know how dropshipping was a thing, you made loads of money, you didn't have to touch the product. This is essentially the exact same thing. And if you do not jump onto it now, you will be too late, because what's going to happen is it's currently still a bit of a manual process, but as time goes on, it will be able to build apps in literally one prompt. And when that happens, people will be building apps for themselves that they can just use in their daily life. You will not be able to really sell them to consumers anymore. So this is a golden opportunity and you need to grab it while you can. I have a couple of apps on the App Store. One of them is doing great revenue. I will show you the screenshots here. I had my £1,000 a day. This was last week. You need to start at the bottom and you need to first build the app. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's get into it. This was my little drawing. And I also wanted to say that for this, you need Xcode, which is free, and you need Claude Code, which is about $20 a month. And you can actually use Codex. They're both around $20 a month. Not much. Now, when you have built your app after, to actually publish it on the App Store, you will then have to pay £99 for the whole year. Now, this is just to have your app on the App Store, which is fine because that is the only cost essentially. In today's building, we are going to be using Claude Code and we are going to be using Xcode. Xcode is owned by Apple. It's free. Claude Code, you have to pay. And if you don't have Claude Code already, watch one of my previous videos and it shows you exactly how to set it up and install it and get going. So let's start. So I'm going to be building an app, which is a teleprompt. Very basic, very simple, but I just do not want to pay for it on the App Store and I do not want to do a monthly subscription. So I always have to make content now. And one of the things that I struggle with is reading, remembering my script and talking to the camera. So I want to build my own and I thought, why not show you guys the full process? And I will upload it to the App Store as well if anyone else needs it to create content or do anything like that. You do not need to use Cursor. You can use your terminal, just like talking to ChatGPT, or you can use Claude Code, the desktop app. But I will suggest that you use the terminal. Cursor is nothing to do with what I'm going to show you. Cursor is just actually something Claude sits in. So we just use it as an interface so you can just visually see better. But once again, I've been over this in one of my previous videos, so go check that out if you're new to Claude, and it explains the difference. And I suggest you all use the terminal. So look, we're going to click new terminal. So if you want to set up Claude, all you have to do is literally go to the Claude website like this, and you will type in this. You will copy and paste this, and that's it. It will do the rest for you. Or you can download the desktop app and you can say, can you set up Claude CLI for me? And then you will have to copy and paste this, but I've done it already. And it will show you all the details, how to set it up. But where I have it installed already, all I do is type in Claude. There we go. Right, so we want to go to Xcode, product name, teleprompter. We do not need a team. We do not need any of this right now. I should have actually made it in Xcode first. So teleprompter 2, create. So now, sorry, my bad. Let's open the actual one that I needed. So open project and open teleprompter. Right, so that's open now. Now, just to see if you're connected, what you want to do is make sure you're connected. So this is a project. So anything you make, any changes you make in here will automatically apply to here. Let me give you an example. So let's look for content view. So this says hello world. Now let's change it to hello, Danny. Then we want to save, command and save. Now, this should update in Xcode. Yep, see, there we go. And it's updated in Xcode. So any code changes you make in here will apply to Xcode. Right, now what we want to do is new terminal, Claude, yes, perfect. Now, what we want to do, start in plan mode and let's go. I want to build an iOS app, which I have the template already. By the way, if you want this template, I will provide it in my school, which you can join and get free access to, and it makes things much more easier and you can ask questions all the time. So just click the link, join my school. I'll provide all the files that you need and you can just take this and do what you want with it, even launch it. So I want to build an iOS app, which I have the template already in place for the Swift code. Now I want the app to be a teleprompter, which you can record yourself talking into the camera in all different resolutions, and I need to be able to upload my own script and decide on the speed and so the size of the font. Quite basic, but I also need it to record me at the same time and export. Let's make a full plan. Right now, this might take one prompt, it might take an hour. We will have to see. But from my understanding, this seems quite basic. So we will see what problems we encounter, or there may not be any problems at all. So which camera should the app support? Obviously the front only. How should scripts be uploaded and imported? Paste type in the app. Yes. Don't need to complicate it. Where should the videos be saved? Yes, in the photo library. Export to the photo library. Next, yes, mic and audio, submit. So Claude asks you questions about how the app should be, how it should act, just so it can clarify on a few things. So then it can give you the plan. So look, more questions. So we actually want to export in everything. How should the teleprompter look? Teleprompter should be over the camera. Yep. Play, pause, speed, slider, font size. Yep, that's fine. And remember, we can always add stuff after, but when you are building, always start with the basics. Do not jump ahead saying, I want to build this $1 million app, which is going to do this and this. You need to start with the foundations, because if you don't start with the basics, you're not even going to get anywhere. And also, this is actually the back end stuff. So you always start with the back end, make sure the app functions. Then you start doing UI work. UI means the user interface, how it looks. Then you need to do the auth, which is the authentication. If you have real users, you need them to sign in, you need them to pay, you need credits, and that will all come. So look, it's gave me the plan, right? So there's literally saying basically there's nothing in this project, which is correct. It's just this Xcode Apple project, and it is saying it's bigger. It's just telling me exactly what we need. Now you should read this, but we're at early stages, so you can just have a brief read that it's got your idea of what you want. So then we will go ahead and approve it. And remember, you have nothing to lose at this stage. So if you are building, just give it a go, have some fun, because I've built over like 200, 300 projects, and some are just fun, building on the weekends. You don't need to be a professional coder, and do not get scared by this writing, because I never knew anything about coding until I actually just started talking to AI like I am doing here. Imagine you had a developer who you just explain what you want, and this is what it does. And he might come back and say, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong. And then you will tell him how to correct it, what to change, what to do. It's the exact same theory. What you need to have is good delegation with AI. You need to be able to delegate each agent in what to do. And that's how you get the best results. What it's doing now is writing the code. So essentially this is just a file, a document on your computer. You might have a Word document or you might have a spreadsheet. Essentially, it's just writing files on your computer in your documents. So it's just text files which can run the iOS app. And what this is, if you have a Mac, this is your Finder, this is your documents, and with Cursor, it allows you to see your files and documents on the left-hand side. So you can visually see it instead of just looking at all this text. Or you might want to refer to something and put it in here. So it makes it much easier when you've got a larger project going on. You might want to just specifically get to a point where you're like, oh, the camera preview, can we change this? And it just speeds things up because the AI don't have to go through all of the code base just to find that one file. And as you can see, it's created a few already. And so this is why I like using Cursor, because you can actually see it visually. So what it's saying is that it's built it already. So let's check. Now, there's two ways of checking this. You can run it live. So look, here's the first thing. We have found that we're now in Xcode and there are a few problems. So let me all you do is copy and paste. So we tell AI, these are the problems we're having, copied and paste. Back from Xcode to Claude. Copy from Xcode the errors, paste into Claude equals fix. Then what it should do is you go into Xcode. Right. So there's two ways to build this. You can actually build it on a simulator on here, like this. So it's a simulator of an iPhone. Now, the problem with this is you need to plug in your iPhone to actually get a real usage on your phone to make sure an app properly works. But for the sake of showing you guys, we're going to actually run it on the simulator. You will see it looks like this, but some functions don't work. So for example, I need a camera on this, so technically I cannot use it. But what we can see is there are some errors here. So we will just copy and we will paste. And look, so this is exactly like an iPhone. I will hit the teleprompter app. We might have to rebuild this because there is a couple of errors. Now, there should never be any of these red things on the left-hand side. This means there is an error. So if you come over to the error panel here in Xcode, it will show you the errors. You don't need to understand these, but you need to tell your AI that these exist. So saying they're stale. So let me just do a clean, build. So to do a clean build, you click Command, Shift and K. This just refreshes Xcode. So it's fresh again when you do your installs. So like something freezes or as it said, it was a stale thing. So we just clean build. So, let's see. So obviously I need a phone for this. So I've got my other phone. What you need to do is you need to put your phone into developer mode. Now, how you do this is you go to settings and there will be a setting here which says developer mode. Just put it in developer mode and nothing will happen. So now teleprompter is loaded as an app on the iPhone. I'm not sure if you can see that. So teleprompter, that's the script. Let's test this out. Hello, this is a test. Does this work? Is a test. Does this work? Start recording, allow mic, allow camera. As you can see, it's actually showing the camera. Record. Hello, this is a test. Perfect. Allow it to record, allow it to save. Brilliant. And do you know what, guys? He literally built it that quick. So obviously you can only see a recording here, but I will record a separate video showing the actual app. Now, what you guys obviously want to see is the next stage on how to publish the app onto the App Store. And we will go through that in full depth. I will actually launch this to the App Store so you guys can see it. As I said, I've had a lot of success with iOS apps, and there is only a short window that you can do this. So join my school and let me know if you need any help. Join the community, ask questions, ask for any help, anything you need. I literally talk to everyone, communicate with everyone, help people with what they're building. I bring people together. So if you need assistance from someone else, and I'm just trying to build a community so everyone can get together. So join my school, join my Discord, all the links are in the bio, and I'm happy to help with whatever. So we will be going through launching the app, authentication, IE Superbase. We will be going through marketing strategies. This is the new dropshipping.